This is the analysis of the poem It is a Constant Image of Your Face by Denis Brutus. It is a constant image of your face, framed in my hands as you knelt before my chair, the grave attention of your eyes surveying me and my world of knives that stays with me, perennially accuses and convicts me of heart's treachery, and neither you nor I can plead excuses for you. You know, can claim no loyalty. My land takes precedence of all my lovers. Yet I beg mitigation, pleading guilty for you, my dear accomplice of my heart. Meet without words such blackmail with your beauty, and proffered me such dear protectiveness that I confess without remorse or shame my still fresh tension to my country, and I hope that she, my other dearest love, will pardon freely, not attaching blame, being your mistress or your match in tenderness. The summary of the poem: the persona seems to be a statesman or some sort of stakeholder or representative of his country who is accused of heartbreak by his lover. It appears that there was an event in the past where he was unfaithful, seemingly to his lover. However, there can be no excuse for either of them. He believes since loyalty to one's country supersedes all else, he can claim no loyalty to her, but neither can she to him. As a person considers his country to be above all of his lovers. Now, however, he pleads for forgiveness of some sort, confessing thoroughly his denial of his own country, his lover, the accomplice of his heart in denying his country. He treated him with such tender love that he cannot simply ignore it. He hopes that his country will be able to forgive him as he now compares the love he holds for his lover and his land. He reveals his own confusion. He loves his land and this woman, one he believes should take precedence above all others. On the other, has conspired with his heart to siphon some of his affection for the other. He cannot discern which one is more dear to his heart, which one is more tender. The tone of the poem is remorseful and wistful. The mood is solemn and sad with a sense of guilt. The themes of the poem include patriotism, divided loyalties, and romantic love versus love of one's country. So the analysis. It is a constant image of your face. This is the first line. It is a constant image of your face framed in my hands as you knelt before my chair that gave grave attention of your eyes surveying me and my world of knives. The image of lover's face remains ceaselessly in his mind. He holds her face in his hands as she kneels before him. Her eyes inspect him gravely. This gives the impression of anguish and deep emotion. The phrase world of knife conveys the idea that the persona is surrounded by a world of brutality or even an internal conflict. That stays with me. Paternally accuses and convicts me of heart's treachery. The image seems to haunt him permanently, embedded into his mind. It accuses and convicts him for heart's treachery. What he saw in the attentive eye of his lover stayed with him and caused a great deal of emotional pain. So continuing down the line, it says here, seems to haunt him permanently, embedded into his mind. It causes and convicts him of heart's treachery. What he saw in the attentive eyes of his lover stayed with him and caused a great deal of emotional pain. The use of the word convicts gives the impression of a direct encumbering of guilt upon the persona heart's treachery here. If evidently meaning heartbreak is an oxymoron, considering that the heart is a symbol of love and compassion, completely contrasted by the concept of treachery and betrayal. And another line preceding this is, neither you nor I can plead excuses for you. You know, can claim no loyalty. My land takes precedence of all my lovers. Neither the poor soul nor his lover can plead excuses for apparent infidelity. They can't claim loyalty to each other, as the poor soul believes unequivocally that loyalty to his country should be above all other or perceived lovers. Thus he feels unbound to her due to how he prioritizes patriotism. This from what I could gather that the protagonist is a very infantical, stupid, dumb person. Yet I beg mitigation, pleading guilty for you, my dear accomplice of my heart made without words, such blackmail with your beauty, and proffered me such dear protectiveness that I confess without remorse or shame my still fresh treason to my country. Now the poor Sona is begging acquittal for his seemingly perfidy. He admits his wrongdoing. His lover is the accomplice of his heart, a person who has conspired with him to take some of his affection for his country. He sort of introduces the idea that both share cul- culpability for betraying his greater love. Wordlessly, she blackmails him with her beauty, forcing him to become a backsliding lover when it comes to his country. Her love, protective and tender, has caused him to confess freely the way he now seems to have given his love to another apart from his president love for his country. He considers this treason a betrayal of the love he thinks should be above all else. This is like in a basic ideology, a mirroring of biblical religion and ideologies, with the fact that a minority of Christian believes that president's love for God should be above all else. It mirrors the effect of that same love. Like for example, patriotism is similar to idealism in the sense that both of it put their love and put their ideologies in one concept in itself, and that would be God, and the other would be a country. They believe that your love should be for this one thing above all else. Everything that you are trying to put your love in, aside from these things, is unprecedented and very evil. So patriotism and idealism is very similar in a sense, meaning that both of it believes that you should put your love in one thing above all else. And I hope that she, my other dearest love, will pardon freely, not to touch and blame, being your mistress or your match in tenderness. The poor son hopes against hope that his country will be able to pardon him for this. The final line reveals more of his confusion as cannot discern which one is more dear and tender to him. So, in summary, the persona is in a conflicting mood whether he should put his love in this individual or should he put his love in his patriotism, and he's very conflicted about it. The poem is one of wistful thinking, one of basically of wishful thinking. That is one being patriotism, divided loyalties, and romantic love versus patriotic love, meaning love for your country. Yes, that is everything that could be gathered from this poem. This is everything for the poem. This is everything for the poem. It is a constant image of your face, and that would be everything.
Watch my 9mm go bang.